seeing the fans, seeing my castmates, because we all get along really well, and that's not a joke. And then getting to travel is amazing. It's just all of it. I always look forward to the summer. It's the best.
The meet and greets and things like this where I get to talk one-on-one or actually get to show my personality and get to know their personality and like the questions and we get to banter back and forth. I actually get to know them. Whereas, don't get me wrong, I love pictures. I don't really like autographs because I always get scared I'm gonna mess up their name or ruin their picture. But it's such a quick, no matter how much time you try to, or how special you try to make it, it's still only a minute, and then it's the next one, it's the next one. Whereas at least like this, it's a little more chill. Or in the meet and greets, you get to actually like, hey, I'm Ryan. Where are you from? What do you do? How long did it take you to get here? You know, how many conventions? You know, you get to know them, and that's my favorite part is getting to know them when it's not just a robotic line. Next. I like to actually have interactions.
It's just really cool to see like put the faces to the names. Like you see everyone on social media and you see pictures of them and you see their tweets, but it's so cool to actually like see somebody in person and feel the energy of not just like comments and likes, and it's transferred into like people's actual excitement and energy. Yeah, I think that's been the coolest part.
Is always connecting. I just love getting to know people's backstories and what they're passionate about, and learning like why they're invested in the show, why they're interested in me as an actor or person, and just like I don't know, just like putting a face to like the numbers that you get on social media. That's like really cool. And so for me, in a concert, it's like a great way to connect with everyone on a super vulnerable level, but doing it in mass. So you have like 60 or to 700 people, but you're like connecting with all of them on this like really deep, vulnerable basis. And I just love that.
I went to a convention and as an actor, but I ended up meeting some of the cast of Harry Potter, like the kid who plays Seamus Finnegan, and I was like a little kid. I mean, those stories to me are so magical. So for me, I think the experience is kind of about having a fantasy and getting to share that with people. So that would be my fantasy.
This is where Max stole my answer. I am very into Harry Potter and Star Wars. I'm gonna add on Lord of the Rings also because I would totally go to that. Game of Thrones too. I would totally go to a Game of Thrones convention.
I love Game of Thrones.
Me too. That's my show.
I can't wait for the final season. I'm just like,
I'm sad. We'll see.
So, what do you think how Game of Thrones will end? Your predictions?
I feel like Arya is gonna be on the throne. I feel like she's gonna somehow end up. We'll see.
I'm still hoping for the Dragon Queen.
Yeah, I know. I'm rooting for it too. But I feel like there's going to be... Game of Thrones never goes in the direction that you think it's going to go in. And since that seems like an obvious ending, I feel like that's not going to be the end.
I cried so hard when the dragon died.
Actors and stuff like that don't necessarily interest me because I'm around them all the time. You know, in LA, I audition against them, go to events, they're there. At conventions, they're there with me. So what I would say is like I would go for athletes. Athletes are something that fascinate me, and I would love to. You know, I'm fascinated with that. So I would definitely go for athletes. In terms of movies, not. I mean, maybe like a writer or a director, I would go see him. But there's not. But in terms of like a show. I mean, when we do events for Teen Wolf and things like that, we're always running everything. Like, I could sit here and say I love Game of Thrones, but I've met a lot of those actors already, so I don't know if I'd go to a convention because I've met them all. But yeah, the dumb answer is I'd do it for sports, for athletes.
I'd probably go to I don't know if there's like such thing as Pokemon conventions, but if there were, I would go to those. And I would probably just ask if I could like play the demo for the future Pokemon games. I don't know.
Yeah, some of them I've stayed in touch with. Some of them I see like at auditions or like out and about. social media is obviously a good way to like keep in each other's lives. But no, that's actually one of my other favorite parts about conventions is getting to spend time with the cast on a different level than when we were working together. Especially because I was the new kid on the show, so there was a different energy of like getting to know people still. And now I feel like I've been more integrated. Like, obviously, I'm attending the conventions with them, and like, so I feel like I'm getting to know them a lot better and a lot deeper level than just like on set. You know, being like a new kid on the block.
Yeah, well, Daniel Sharman and I live about a block away from each other in LA, so I see him all the time. And then obviously my wife of 30 years, my brother, Charlie, see him all the time. But in general, yeah, I think Teen Wolf was a very special series because a lot of other casts I've been a part of, or I've actually worked with genuinely like really good people. But you hear people say, "Oh, we're like a family," and then you hear what really happened. But Teen Wolf, it does feel like a family. And even there are people I've met as a result of conventions, like Cody Christian, who I wouldn't have otherwise known. He was a great guy.
Definitely. I mean, Andrew and I hang out all the time because we're like the puppies of the show. You know, we're the puppies of the pack. So, I don't know, while we were on set, like, we just stuck together, and since then we've kind of been riding the same waves for a little while. We'll just talk about it, meet up. And Ryan Kelly is also great. I love hanging out with him. He's wild. But we have a great time. But I mainly just hang out with everyone during the conventions. Like, I have my own little friend group.
I mean, honestly, I find that really interesting just because we see what's happening in Beacon Hills, but we always have these things coming outside of Beacon Hills into the city. And I'd love to know what's going on outside the city and this history of the Argents and the history of the hunters and the werewolves. Who was the first werewolf and these packs? I think that's what really interests me. I mean, that's kind of what I got interested in for myself. The character, yeah. I mean, I made it all up in my head, but to see someone actually write it down and come up with a story, like, I'd love to see that.
So I told this to Holland one time, and then she stole my idea and put Ian in instead of me. And then she was like, "No, this is my idea." It's my idea. So, but it would work with Ian too, and it'd be really good with Ian. But so it'd be Lydia and Parrish open up a private eye company. So it's basically Supernatural, but Teen Wolf, and it's like, you know, we solve crime. So we're he's swimming. I thought, is the water clean with the boats? Yeah, there's places that are clean, but around the boats, yeah, they're crazy. Good for him though. But so it'd be a spin-off. It'd be like Private Eye Parrish and Lydia, like they open up a private eye company and they investigate things in Beacon Hills. And then, you know, you'd have the old characters like Ian, or, well, not Ian, his character, or Argent coming back, and into, you know, the sheriff had moved on, but from time to time I still calls him and things like that. So it,
You're stealing your thumb there.
what? Well, there, he's about to jump in. But that's what it would be.
Describe it like that? Is that good? Don't do that. Okay. That's good. You can't do that.
But yeah, so it'd be that.